That's good. We are on live now. It will take just a few seconds for the audiences to start joining with us. Um, Soon they'll start joining us actually. By the way, how is weather in Stockholm?
Yeah, it's super cold, and yeah, had some snow today, and now it's nighttime, so sun's gone.
Yeah, this is what happens. Same actually like in Vaco as well. But it's not snowing. That's good. But other than that, it's a bit colder.
A bit colder, yeah.
Yes,
Oh, I think it's gonna get colder everywhere now a little bit.
it is December, and Christmas is coming.
Exactly, holiday season.
Um, all right, we can see like few of the audiences has started joining with us. Um, so good morning, good afternoon and good evening to everyone, like whoever you have joined with us from different countries. Actually, today we do have a special guest with us, Anna, and she's from EIT. So I will ask Anna, to introduce yourself, please.
Hi everyone, thank you for joining the webinar. So as mentioned, my name is Anna. I work for EIT InnoEnergy Master School. So I work for the marketing team. I'm based in Stockholm, and today I was hoping to share a little bit about the EIT InnoEnergy as a company and a little bit about Master School to give you a taste of what it's like being a student with us.
Thanks, Anna. So Anna, please, could you please start? Presenting the slide actually.
Of course, of course. So I'll skip this video, but perhaps first I wanted to share a little bit about EIT Energy as a company. I think it's important because if you know a little bit more about the company, then I think you can really benefit from your time when you study with us as well. Just a bit of background. So EIT Energy today is the largest accelerator in sustainable energy. So we have a huge amount of partners across Europe, and we're slowly expanding outside of Europe. So recently, we just opened an office in US. And what we do is we actually, as a company, we're involved in a lot of activities. So we're really in every stage of the innovation process. So yes, we do have education, which is a huge part of our business. But from the corporate side of the business, what we do is we work with startups. So we work with our student startups and external startups. We work with industry, so we have big industry partners in Europe. Some of them are shareholders as well, and we also work with the policy. In Europe as well, so we have various initiatives, originally directed from the policy and various value chains that we also look after as well. Um, Now, of course, the most important part of our business is, investing in future talent like yourself. So this is exactly why we have the EIT Energy Master School. Oh, sorry, I just think I hear a lot of background noise, so I'm not sure if you muted. Sorry. Um, Yes, so essentially we invest in students, so students like yourselves, and students who will be driving the energy transition going forward. Another very unique part about EIT New Energy is that ever since we've been established in 2010, we've actually been supported by EIT. So that's the EIT that you see standing in front of our name. EIT stands for European Institute of Innovation and Technology. It's a body of European Union. And essentially, the company was created to drive the energy transition on the continent. And here at the bottom of my slide, I just listed some of our current shareholders to give you an example how varied it is. So some of these are big global names, some are more known locally. And of course, you can see it's very varied from consulting firms, energy firms to education providers. Just to give a bit of a scope of the company, as I mentioned, we have a huge amount of partners in Europe. We recently opened a Boston office, so we're expanding. I've provided some figures here on the right-hand side for you to have a look at as well, just talking a little bit about some of the investments that have been made, some of the projects that we sponsored. But what you will find when you join EIT No Energy Master School, and I will talk about education in a minute, is that we have offices across Europe. So normally what you'll find is that where you'll be studying is traditionally where we have an office somewhere not far from the university, or at least in the same city. And of course, for various locations, we also have, various partners who are more active in those locations, and also the partners who are also involved within education as well. And then just to give you a little bit of a link about the education part, so I already mentioned, so education is a huge part of our business. So how it came about is that when we were looking at the energy transition, and of course we were looking at all the various areas that will need to be involved to make sure that the energy transition progresses, what we clearly heard from the industry is there will need to be a need for talent. So certain innovations are moving very fast. There's not enough workforce, so there'll need to be a talent who will need to lead these changes within the industry. And that's kind of how the education part came to be originally as well. And of course, it's super, super important for us is that we don't only focus on technical skills. So yes, you will receive technical skills. It's an engineering degree that we're going to be discussing today. But for us, it's very important that students also get business, innovation, entrepreneurship skills. And most recently, we also added digital skills on top of it. And that just to make sure that you can take the product to the market. So taking product from the lab to the market, because if you have a great solution, but you can't market it, it can be quite challenging. And last but not least, in terms of our approach to education is, yes, we have a huge network of partners, but from my side, what I see plays a huge role is our network of students, so network of graduates and current students. So we have a quite, I would say, tight-knit community in Europe. Our alumni regularly attend from big to small events that are organized by students. Our second-year students normally welcome our first-year students. So this knowledge feedback is happening. And of course, because our alumni already are in the energy, in the industry, in the energy sectors, what traditionally happens is that any job offers are usually advertised. They try to encourage future student recruitment. They try to hire students for if they even running their own startups, and just in general sharing that knowledge and network, which I think is very helpful when it comes looking for employment as well. Now just looking a little bit more detail at master school, because I'm sure that's the part that also interests you the most. So what I find traditionally when speaking to students is that they never heard about EIT InnoEnergy, and then I share the names of the universities that we work with, and then suddenly I hear that they know either KTH in Stockholm or maybe Polytechnic in France, TU in Eindhoven, etc. So the most important part of the education will be with the universities, of course. So commonly asked question, what degree do I get from EIT InnoEnergy? And the answer is that you don't really get an EIT InnoEnergy degree. What you do is you get a degree from 2 universities that you have attended for our studies. So the way that the program is set out is you attend one university for year 1 and another university for year 2. So it's a 2-year master's degree. And then after graduating from those 2 universities, you'll also receive a degree from each university, just like as if you were any other student attending the university. And I will go a little bit in more detail about how the journey will look and how it will be different from other students in the university as well. This is a bit of a text-heavy slide. Don't feel the need to read all of it, but I can go a little bit about just a little bit of a uniqueness of each program to help you navigate on the website later and have a look a little bit in more detail about each program. So we currently offer 6 master's programs in energy engineering. So we don't offer bachelor's, we don't offer PhD, so only master's degree. And I'll go now for a little bit about each program. So one of our most popular programs is Masters in Renewable Energy. So this program focuses on renewables, and then it gives you a chance to specialize in the area that interests you the most in your second year. And this is also the program where students spend the most time at ESADE Business School. So we also send students to ESADE Business School during their master studies. So they almost get that little mini MBA training as well while they're studying Masters in Renewable Energy. Then we have Masters in Sustainable Energy Systems. This one, so Masters in Renewable Energy looks really at the renewables, whereas Masters in Sustainable Energy Systems really looks at the sustainability aspects. So everything to do with this, with your solution being sustainable, which is not always the case for the renewables anyway. So I would say it's a more hands-on program as well. So the students get put in groups, and they get set challenges, and they get to find a solution to the challenge. So industry, NGO, council, they could even source the challenge themselves. So that's, I would say, is the one of the programs the students also very much enjoy, because as I said, very hands-on. They implement a lot of interesting solutions, and you can find some information about the solution they implemented on our website as well. Masters in Energy Technologies is a modular program. I would say it's more on the technical side. It's a program that also offers students access to UTUM. UTUM is a startup accelerator of TU Munich. So TU Munich is not a university that you can study with EIT InnoEnergy, but the startup accelerator is something that EIT InnoEnergy students get access to during their studies. So I would definitely tell you to have a look at this program, especially if you really want to tailor your study at EIT InnoEnergy, because you have a lot of electives, and you'll sit down with the program director, and you will really look at your study journey. Masters in Energy for Smart Cities, I would say, is for all students interested in smarter, more sustainable communities. So this could be looking at all sorts of cases, but a lot of emphasis has been recently on sustainable mobility within the program. So please have a look as well if this is something you're passionate about. Nuclear energy is exactly what it sounds. It's Masters in Nuclear Energy. There's a big emphasis on nuclear energy in Europe. It's recently been green labeled in Europe as well. And the uniqueness of our masters, but compared to possibly other masters in nuclear energy, is that we offer students a lot of site visits. So this is traditionally quite hard to get access to, of course, due to security reasons. But this is something that we're very proud to offer to our students when they study with us. And last but not least is Masters in Smart Electrical Networks and Systems. Don't be put off from the name. It's not just about smart grids. As the program evolved, there is a focus on smart grids, but I would say that the program really is really perfect for anyone with electrical engineering background. So anything related to electrical engineering within the energy sector, I would say it's a perfect program for you to consider as well. And then perhaps the logo is not very clear, but here you can see the way the selection works. So for different programs, different university choices are available, because of course some universities are stronger in certain subjects. So either you find a particular program very interesting, and then you see which universities it takes place at, or perhaps you're looking at the specific university, and then you see which programs are offered at that university. And you can do both on our website, so you can nicely filter both ways, by university and by program as well. And then I thought, because it can be a little bit confusing at the beginning with the university selection. You're enrolled student of a university, but you're not a student of a university at the same time. So I just wanted to tell you a little bit, give you a bit of a taste of a journey for one program. And essentially the programs will follow more or less the same journeys, but some of the activities will vary depending on the program, because of course the activities have to be related to the subject that you're studying as well. So here is an example. I selected Masters in Sustainable Energy Systems. I'm based in Stockholm, so I selected my first year university as KTH. So I will receive an enrollment letter from KTH. I will be offered all the benefits of KTH, just like any other student of KTH. However, on top of it, I will have access to all the EIT InnoEnergy activities as well. So one of the activities that you'll be invited to are the events held by community. Community is our student network. So it's a student network. They have their own online platform. It's kind of a mix between LinkedIn, Reddit, type of platform, I would say. And they hold a lot of events. Well, one, to welcome new students, of course, and two, a lot of activities where they invite industry. A lot of events focus on career advancement. I think recently they launched like a consulting club as well. So they will organize a number of events during your year one and year two. And it's a great way to meet second year students, alumni, and also to meet other students at KTH, EIT InnoEnergy students who might not be in your program, but might also be like in KTH, or if you selected any other university, then it'll be an equivalent event at any other university that you'll be attending. And then what will happen is you, of course, will attend the lectures at your university. So in my case, I'll attend lectures at KTH. I will have a schedule at KTH. But then in between, I'll also be offered additional activities. So, for example, we have a lot of activities provided by a career center. One of such activities is called Career Impact Program. So it's a voluntary program, so you don't have to participate in it if you don't want to, but it's available for you. It's a program focusing on soft skills, and what you'll have is you'll have an industry coach actually coaching you for the period of 12 months. So while you're studying, you also can follow the program at the same time. And I've heard students tell me that it's not something they were particularly excited about before joining the program, but once joining the program and participating in that program, they had only good things to say. And I've heard a lot of students telling me that the industry coaches also supported them with the employment, recommended them, or told them about the various openings that were available as well. Additionally, what will differentiate you a lot from the students of the university is innovation entrepreneurship journey. So innovation entrepreneurship journey is a unique set of activities that's offered to our students, and it runs parallel to your lectures, to your education at the university. Some of the activities are general, so they're open to everyone, so everyone in every program. Other activities are more tailor-made and more specific to your program. Some activities carry credits, some activities don't, but normally innovation entrepreneurship journey is compulsory for the students. So you might be KTH, and then what will happen is you'll have a study business school. So you will be sent to a study business school in Spain, where you'll be studying. I think in the first year you go there for a week in autumn or winter, and then you also come back there in summer as well. And you'll also have something called a Master School Connect event. So that takes place for all the students of all the programs in first year. It's our kind of a landmark event for all the students, and it takes place normally around spring. And all the students gather in one location. So previously it's been in Sweden, because most of our students have been located in Sweden for year one, but it's taking place in other locations. And essentially, if you're not located in Sweden, you'll be flying here for a 2.5 day event, where again it'll be focused on meeting, well, one, everyone from your program and other programs, to meeting InnoEnergy staff, industry, and also just having participating in some panel discussions, and having some activities also on the side, as well as just some fun activities to enjoy interacting together. And then, of course, various field trips and projects, which are a little bit more ad hoc. But yes, we have, again, students visiting site facilities, students traveling for maybe lectures in other universities. So it's fairly varied as well.
Anna, can I ask you questions in between,
Of course.
or shall I go
Or
for
should I
later?
finish the presentation and
Okay,
then
yeah, yeah, no
maybe
problem.
perhaps, yeah. And then what we also offer, also offer digitalization courses. So I told you digitalization is a huge part now of energy transition. We see its skills are very much needed for energy engineers as well. Again, these courses are voluntary. There's actually a limited seating for these courses, but because they rotate, essentially, if you miss one, you can take another one in the meantime, and then take the one that you wanted again next time. They've only been introduced recently, so they've only been introduced, I think this year is the first time that these courses are running. And then you'll have summer. So I mentioned maybe you'll go back to your study business school during the summer, and then you will be changing university location. So you'll be going from your year one university to your second choice. In this case, I selected TU Eindhoven in the Netherlands. And again, I will be invited to all the welcoming events. I will be getting an enrollment letter from the university, and I'll benefit from all the services of the university on top of EIT InnoEnergy services that are offered. I haven't, of course, listed everything within this journey, but I listed some of the landmark activities that are happening. And the big event that is happening for second year students is the Business Booster. It's a corporate event, so it's not an education event. It's a corporate company event where we showcase all our solutions to the investors. And students usually recommended by the program, so there's also like a limited number of students that are invited. They're recommended by the program directors, attend the event. They attend, of course, to benefit from the event as well, so they can network, they can attend panel discussions, and in general they have some activities planned in the evenings to say thank you, but the thank you is also for supporting the startup. So every student attending the event will have a role, and normally the role would be is that they're attached to one of the startups and they have to support the startups during the event. So that could even in some cases involve pitching for the startup maybe. So it's a great event, and you can find a lot of information about it and videos from the previous events online as well. And I'm rounding up now a little bit the journey. So another huge activity taking place for our students during the year is called Battle of Green Talent. So they actually also have their own website now, so you can have a look. But essentially, it's an entrepreneurship competition for our students, where our students have a chance of winning a monetary prize. So I think they won like 10K last year, and they also win the support from EIT InnoEnergy if the startup looks successful, promising, and if they want to carry on with the startup going forward as well. So it's also a nice launch pad for those of you interested in running your own business after graduation and want to test their idea as well. And then as you come towards the end of your second year, of course, you'll have a more community activities, what I mentioned to you before. You'll have something called Career Impact Challenges. So it takes place organized by a career center. So it takes place in Europe. We have a huge event called NLIT in Europe. And you get challenges set by industry, and you actually pitch to the industry the solutions during the event. So you pitch in front of everyone. And if you go on our social media channels, so it just took place last week, the event. And it's a really good opportunity to showcase yourself to future recruiters, future employers. So you can have a look at what our students have to say about it. And then second year, of course, is your thesis year. So thesis usually encourage as an internship. But if you're interested in research-based thesis, you can also, of course, do that. And then, of course, you can have a look and speak to program directors, because some universities are better for research-based thesis than others, perhaps. So you might want to have a look at it in more detail. And then you finish with the graduation ceremony. So you'll have a graduation ceremony with the university, of course, but you will also be invited to EIT InnoEnergy graduation ceremony that rotates every year. So this year it took place in Italy, in Politecnico di Torino, one of our universities. And it's just a way to celebrate all your hard work with all your fellow EIT InnoEnergy colleagues. It's just a nice occasion to celebrate everything and before you graduate, essentially. And then I also got some stats from our career center, and this is to give you a bit of a picture of what it could be like after you graduate. So I listed most common job titles here to show you that it's rather varied. Students go to all sorts of fields after they graduate, so probably will depend where your interest is. Of course, you graduate with double masters, so a degree from each of the universities you have attended. Most students are employed. Most students are employed in Europe, but I also gave you a breakdown of the countries where most students end up being employed. And I wanted to give you this breakdown because a lot of times I hear from students that they want to graduate in country, or they want to graduate in the same country where they want to look for the employment, which I completely understand, particularly for students outside of the European Union who might want to secure their visas. But we only have one program taking place in Germany, opposed to Netherlands, Spain. We have several programs taking place there, and it seems the majority of students tend to be employed in Germany. And this is just to show you that it seems like our students are quite mobile and don't seem to be they don't seem to be held by the location where they graduated, so to speak. And I think largely this is because they do their thesis everywhere, wherever they want to do it, in Europe, outside Europe, wherever they find the opportunity they interest in the most. And then I think it contributes a lot to their mobility. And if you want to, you can have a look also on LinkedIn. We have our students connected, a lot of them, and you can see where they graduated and where they found employment afterwards. And sometimes it's quite surprising that they graduated from one location and then went to be employed in a completely different place as well. Of course, with a big focus on innovation entrepreneurship, a lot of our students have their own startups, but a lot of our students just go into the industry straight after, maybe to gain some experience as well. So here I have top employees and top companies providing internships to our students. And of course, some of these are big names, everyone knows, like Siemens, Tesla. Some of these are huge locally, so huge industry players in their respective countries. So have a look at them, because they very much like to hire our students, and they know our students, so they know the quality of our graduates as well. And then I'm just going to round up with the application process. So application requirements, fairly straightforward. So good academic background. It's an energy engineering degree, so there is business element involved, but unfortunately still a technical degree for those of you in a business background who want to pursue technical studies. So I would say you do need to have a mechanical, chemical, electrical, engineering, physics, chemistry, because you need to be able to follow the curriculum. You need to have a bachelor's because it's a master's degree. If you have already a master's degree, that's absolutely fine. If you want to have another master's, we have several students doing that. GPA has to be good GPA and academic score. You need to have a good English proficiency. We look at the university reputation, and of course we look at interest in innovation entrepreneurship. So for those of you looking for scholarships, particularly very important to have a very good motivation letter, something the program directors will look at a lot. How do you apply? So even though you're applying to the universities, you actually have to apply on our portal, because the way the programs are set up, it's only offered on our program, this joint degree. And what will happen is we'll review your application. If everything looks good from our side, we will send the application to the universities, and then they will review the application, and they'll come back to us and we will notify you. So we operate in application rounds. Essentially what it means is, whilst the application round is closed, the applications are closed as well. And this is done to help us process your application as quickly as possible. So if you submitted in September, it means you don't have to wait till like end of year to get a response. So we'll be reviewing them continuously throughout the year. But what it also means is that some universities or some programs might get filled up towards round 5. I wouldn't worry too much before round 5, but towards round 5, universities will also might go on holidays. So some universities will actually close down for summer. So if you really want to secure the program that you like, the university that you want to attend, I would suggest you apply in the early round. So we're in round 2 now. So round 2, round 3, round 4, I would say those are the best rounds for you to apply to. And also, you just want to avoid any disappointments. Imagine getting accepted and that not being able to get your visa processed on time because a lot of visa offices are closed in summer or something like that. So it just helps to avoid any disappointment to apply earlier. In terms of investment and funding, so there's no application fee. You can apply to 2 programs of your choice, and I always tell students to apply to 2 programs because it just maximizes your chances. Remember, these will go to different universities, different people who review the programs. So It's happened a lot where students been rejected from one program but accepted into another, or they haven't received a scholarship for one program because it was very competitive for that particular program, but then they receive a scholarship for another program. So it just maximizes your chances. So definitely have a look at the another program that interests you the most as well. Um, Participation fee is 18,000 per academic year, and that's for all universities, for all the programs. It's exactly the same. There's opportunity to pay in installments as well, which have been introduced recently because the students been requesting it. And then there's several scholarships available as well. So there's Energy Impact Scholarship, which goes to the highest ranked students. We have a diversity inclusion scholarship as well, and particularly one of the parts of this scholarship is actually looking into entrepreneurial initiatives as well. So any of you with entrepreneurial background, it's a really good scholarship to try to apply for. And then we have partial waivers. So once the scholarship been allocated, and then they'll be looking at the students ranked highest after that, and those students will also receive a partial waiver. And then a little bit about why join us, just a little summary. So, of course, this focus on education, because, of course, we want you to receive a good degree from prestigious universities. You'll be studying at 2 different countries. The way our programs are set up, there's no way that you can stay in the same country for 2 years. And this is all about you gaining the experience, because we want to make sure that you have the right experience and also a diverse experience, the way things done in different cultures. Skills, so yes, technical skills, but also business skills, very important. Digital skills I mentioned to you as well. And network, of course. So network, everything is of course aimed to making sure that you secure the right job for you after you graduate. So the skills, the network, the experience, the education, all of it is just making sure that you find the employment and that you're passionate about and that you're excited about as well. So I think this is it. I have a short video, but I don't know if it's gotten streamed properly. So I think I'll leave it here in case you have any questions. And please, you can ignore the contact details because it was for something else in the past. So that's it from my side.
We can watch the video. I mean, it will be nice. So that.
Okay, perfect. If you think it'll
Yeah.
stream, I'm happy to play
Yeah.
it. Yes.
Yeah. I think it will. Yes.
Soy Andrés.
Ich bin Enzo.
Sono Martina. We are from different places, but we decided to study in Barcelona, one of the most beautiful and exciting cities in Europe.
A lively and diverse city, full of young people and full of history.
During the EIT InnoEnergy Masters, we study in a different university every year. EIT InnoEnergy also organizes many activities all over Europe to meet students, alumni, and industry. Like the Master School Connect in Stockholm. During the Connect event, we meet companies, alumni, and experts. But we also have fun in the city. The Connect event has been fantastic, but now it's time to go to our next activity.
So now we're going from Stockholm to Helsinki with all my select colleagues.
The Spring Seminar is part of our master's program, and it's organized in a different city every year.
The EIT InnoEnergy experience is very international.
We get to live, study, and travel across Europe.
We meet incredible people as we build a strong industry connection.
Will you also join us?
I think that's it, right?
Yes, that's it. That's the presentation.
I think, yeah, it was a really nice video, and thanks for the presentations. Actually, Anna, I mean, got to know lots of things about from it. Already we got few questions here, like from the audience that like can the students decide which two countries or universities they get to study in?
Yes, of
So
course. So they look at the program, and then they can see which universities the program takes place. So there's one program, which is the one I mentioned today, Masters in Sustainable Energy Systems. And there the students decide before they come to study. They select both of their university locations in year one and in year two. So they already know which universities they're going to attend. For the other programs, they actually can select the university location during the first year of studies. So it depends. It depends what they maybe some of them want to already select the location before, in which case probably better. But what we find is sometimes students also want to change the location because they start speaking to other students, and maybe they realize they want to go with their friends or something like that. So they select the locations, and of course maybe they want to also look at the way the specialization work at different universities, and what they're actually interested in. So they might there's a lot of times that happens where students think they're going to go to one place, but then they figure out that actually it's better for them to go to another location as well.
so but is there any particular countries or university they must have to start with, or they can start with anyone?
No, they start with any, but they just have to, because there's different selection available for different
Yes.
degrees that they want to study. So they'll need to look at the selection. So it can happen that for some location only certain universities available for year one, and then certain universities available for year two. It's just the way that programs have been designed, you know. So sometimes they'll get background information in one university, and then they'll follow up future studies in the second university. But if they're interested, they can have a look on our website, so they can look, and it's completely described in detail where and how you can go and study. So there's a university section, so you can actually have a look at it as well.
All right, so if the students look for EIT website, they can they might know actually like from, I mean, specifically in which countries they are going to study. They might know it, right, before they select the programs.
Of course, we have like something like 17 universities and business
Yes,
schools.
I know that.
Yeah, so there's a huge selection, so they can have a look where they want to go to.
And even the opportunities is even during their studies, if they want, like for an example, they initially they thought like they will study in Sweden. Now they think they will study in Finland. They can do it. I mean, if that particular programs run by that particular university, in that case.
Exactly. So they can have a look, and then they can decide. It's only one program that they decide before they come. But then for that program, they have a huge selection of universities available. So it's just the way that program is set up. They want to make sure they know where all the students are going to, because it's a big intake for that program.
And for the other programs, they can start mostly from anywhere, right?
Well, yes, they can start where it's possible, and then they can decide for second year where they want to go as well.
And it's mandatory, kind of like they must have to study in two countries, in two universities. Am I right?
Exactly. So they can't. So you have to change locations. There's no way you can stay in the same location. It's just the way the program is set up. So there's a big focus on mobility.
All right. And also the fact is that they can start with anyone and they can finish with anyone. It doesn't have anything like that, like you must have to start with this and you must have to finish with this. You don't we don't have something like that. Am I right? I mean, they're flexible. They can start with any university and finish with any university as well. Am I right?
Yes, more or less. There might be like one or two programs where they have to start in either one or two, like university A or B, and then they can go to university like C, D, E, you know. But for most of these, it's rather flexible. Yes.
All right, that's really good. Now, cause see the reasons I'm asking, because this might, I mean, this might the questions students, I mean, might have it in their mind. So even like later on, they will watch this video, so then they will know, okay, this is the facts. I mean, they have to be considered beforehand.
That's a valid question, definitely.
And also, there is a question like, does EIT offer any paid or unpaid internship?
No, so there's nothing there's nothing offered, like nothing is offered or guaranteed. What happens is EIT InnoEnergy Career Center works with students and they try to secure internships for them. Depending on the countries where they're based as well. In some countries, internships are paid for. In some countries, they're not. So it also depends on like European laws as well of the specific country. But there is a big focus on placing students with the startups. If there is skills that match the startups that are looking for talent, So there's a big focus on that, and there's a big focus from Career Center of placing students for internships with industry partners as well.
Okay. I mean, it's not guaranteed, but of course, on the other way, I mean, EIT will help them, but it's not guaranteed, right?
No, of course, nothing is guaranteed, but
No,
of
I
course we
understand.
try to help. And also something to mention as well, of course they also can benefit from Career Center of the university, because traditionally every university have the Career Center as well. But what happens is universities traditionally cater to a much larger intake, right? So there's a lot of students within the university, whereas EIT InnoEnergy has a much smaller intake, so students can benefit from the university Career Center and from our own Career Center as well.
Understand. What are the specific criteria for each of the scholarships? And is PTE acceptable instead of IELTS? There is another questions.
Pardon, which is the English requirement you mentioned?
PTE.
I'm not sure about PTE. I know the TOEFL, IELTS definitely.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, as well. Like, but I mean, it will be nice for us. I mean, maybe right now or even later on, you can just let me know whether, because some of the international students do have PTE as well, and most of the universities even in Europe, as I said, like even Sweden, Finland, even other countries, actually most of the countries, they do accept PTE. So that's why I'm asking, like, will I mean, EIT, they accept PTE or not? Just let us know actually
I'm not
later
sure.
on,
I know
please.
they accept a lot of other qualifications as well. I mean, there's like an Oxford qualification as well. So we can have on the website, there's a specific section about requirements for English. It's just I mentioned TOEFL, IELTS is like the top.
Yes.
Yeah.
We missed it actually. Like, we got a presentation from even EIT, and then over there it is written actually, like, yeah, as you said, like a TOEFL and IELTS. So we are a bit confused anyway. So no problem if you don't know right now. I mean, we'll check it, and even we will check it, and also if you know, you can check it and just let me know. Anna,
Yes.
no problem.
I'm just checking now as well while we're speaking too.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there is another included question, like, what are the specific criteria for each of the scholarships?
So there's not like a specific criteria per se, because it's not that if you reach this criteria, you're guaranteed a scholarship. What happens is students are competing against themselves, against other students of the batch. So students apply, students who have been accepted by the program, they will be ranked by the university, so by the university professors. And the university professors will allocate scholarship to the highest ranking students in their view. What the university's professors told me in the past is that for scholarships, they particularly look at motivation letter. So they will look at the motivation letter. They will really want to see some sort of either background in innovation entrepreneurship or some drive towards innovation entrepreneurship. So I would say that's probably one of the biggest differentiating factors.
Understand. No, it is actually like, as you said. So, but there will not be any interview. Am I right? Just motivation letter.
There is interview only for one program, and that's the nuclear energy program. All the other programs, there's no interviews. No.
Understand. That's good. No problem. Let me see if there is any more questions in the list actually. Just a second. Just checking. Actually, there is for international students, like those are coming actually outside of EU, right? I do have a question for them, and I know like these questions will be coming sooner or later. The fact is that, see, international students, they do have residence permit issues. So how they're managing their residence permit? So for the country they are applying for the first time, they will get the residence for that country. Am I right?
Correct.
And then for second year, in the country they're moving, and then they will get the residence permit from that country. Am I right?
Exactly. So they'll
Okay.
have to apply for both countries. What I heard is it can be quite beneficial when they graduate because, for example, say you graduate from year 2 from a second country, you might be looking for you can still go and look for a job in the first year country because you still might have some visa running or residence permit running from the first country. And then if you don't secure a job there, then you can always come back to the second country. So I heard students tell me they do that quite often because it gives them an option to look at both places.
Mm-hmm. And mostly, like, for which countries it will be applicable? Like, in most of the countries they do have a like PSW, what we used to say, like post study work permit opportunities.
Yes, they
For an
have.
example, it is 1 year in Sweden and 2 years in Finland. So how will it work, like, when they are studying in 1 year in one country and second year in another country? How will it work for them?
So, if I remember, if I understood correctly from the students as well, is they should have the post-study visa for each country that they have graduated from. But it will depend. I mean, they need to have a look. And I heard different things from students. For some, it's been a very, very much a straight, easy process once they're already in Europe. For others, they had some struggles. So it just depends which, it's so different depending where you're from and where you're going to as well. What I would say is just make sure that once you've been accepted to year 1 university and you applied for all your documents and everything for year 1, just have a look already where you think you might be going for year 2, where you want to go, and just try to take all your documents with you, because it happened the students needed something and then it need to be sent to them, and it was just a bit annoying to wait for it and arrange everything while they're moving at the same time. So I would just say try to come with all your documents already prepared for year 2 as well.
No, that is understandable, but my question is, like, as PSW things, will it be applicable for the second country, or they can apply in their first country as well? Because in first countries they have studied 1 year, and in second countries they studied 2 years.
No, they study 1 year in each country.
Yeah. No, but what I'm saying, like,
I think I understand what you're saying. Is the post-study is applicable
yeah.
in both countries? I believe it is, but I would advise them to have a look. It's obviously definitely applicable in second year once they graduate. It should be applicable in first year as well, technically speaking, because they have graduated from first country number 1 as well. But I would tell them to have a look. I don't have a visa answer, unfortunately.
Understand. How long is EIT is running this program for?
So I think about 10 years now we've been running the program.
Okay, that's quite a long. So maybe, like, once, maybe, like, maybe not now, but it could be possible, like, in near future, like, if you can welcome any alumni or someone, you know what I mean, to join us and so on. So
Of
even,
course,
like,
of course,
they
we have
can,
so
even
many.
they know this kind of things, they will get to, they know this kind of stories, and if they share with fellow students, potential students, those are planning to study in future, it will be really great for them as well. They will be motivated, they will know, okay, these students have done it, and then I will just have to follow this path. Hope you understand what I'm
100%.
trying to
Yes,
say.
of course. And that's normally how we normally try to invite our students where possible. So
Yes.
please let me know in future. And of course, we'll
Yeah,
try to
surely. Yeah, that would be nice, because even they can share their personal experiences, and then it will be better for more students, so they know, okay, we can just follow them, follow their route.
Definitely. And I would say to students, if you want to speak to our current students, because we have a lot of students outside of the EU who are studying with us as well. So you can also go on our website, and we have student ambassadors. So those are the students volunteer to actually answer student incoming questions. And feel free to also speak to them, because they're in different locations. They tell you exactly how they feel. They tell you exactly what they like, what they don't like. So yeah, I don't monitor them or anything. So feel free to interact with them as well.
Understand. No problem. No, it will be really great.
And is there any other questions coming in as
No,
well?
I think just a second. Let me check if there is any other questions. I mean, just checking. No, I think that was the question till now. I mean, mostly. So, thank you so much. I mean, Anna, for joining the session today. Even like it was really nice presentations. I got to know about. I mean, EIT. Of course, I knew it from before, but again, I mean, it's refreshing my mind again and again. More I know, I mean, more we can tell our students.
Thank you so much for organizing the
Excuse me.
session, and bless you. Thank you so much for organizing the session, and thank you for inviting us to present. As I said, please don't hesitate to contact us if you have any questions. And likewise,
Surely,
students, like if you have any questions, please contact us. We have loads of contact details as well on the website.
surely. And before we finish, I mean, if you have any final comments to for our audiences and so on, so please go ahead.
Well, oh, you put me on the spot. So I would say definitely, if you're considering, if you're from energy engineering background, I would definitely consider a career in sustainable energy engineering. In terms of the studies in European Union now, so there's a lot of emphasis on sustainable energy. There's a lot of investments being made, and I think energy engineers are going to be in big demand going forward. So yeah, I just look forward to you guys applying and hopefully meet you all after you've been accepted.
That's good. So, no, there is no more questions. Thank you so much. I mean, Anna, one more time. Um, thank you so much for joining the sessions, and to all viewers who have joined us from different parts, from different countries. Actually, thanks to you all for joining the sessions today. Hope you have enjoyed. Still, if you have any questions during, I mean, about EIT and about these programs and so on. So if you have any more questions on the screen, you do have all of our contact details, email, WhatsApp, and website. Please feel free to contact us, and also you can contact with Anna and so on. So please contact us if you have any more questions in future. Let us know. Then we'll be here to assist you. Thank you so much. Have a great day to everyone. Anna, thank you so much for joining the sessions. Take care. Have
Thank you,
a nice
Avijit.
evening.
Thank you.
Have
Have
a
a good
nice
evening.
evening.
Thank you.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.